We ran out the gate with breaking news just into the newsroom. We have an update to an investigation at the Oakwood Garden Apartments in Springfield Township we first told you about on Friday, when Lucas County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of shots fired and a vehicle crash just north of Hill Avenue. They found 21-year-old Tenaro Pounds, who had been shot in a vehicle. Pounds was transported to the hospital and later pronounced dead. A maroon-colored SUV was seen leaving the area, and multiple shell casings were found in the parking lot. The suspect has been identified as 20-year-old Jordan Graves, and there's now a warrant for his arrest. Anyone with information is asked to give it and asked to call or text Crime Stoppers. Well, welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Sunday evening. We'll get to all of our top stories of the day and more in just a moment. But first, let's get a check of our forecast. Meteorologist John Birchfield. John, a bitterly cold December day. Can we expect more of this to come?
Yeah, another cold morning, Michael. We're going to be talking wind chills near to below zero once again, so that could impact the bus stop and the morning commute. Low temperatures themselves are going to be around 10 degrees, but the feels like could dip down once again below zero. Temperatures have been in the upper teens, quickly dropping after dark, with wind chills ranging from the single digits to less than zero. It's actually areas southwest that I think are going to be the coldest tonight, like Putnam and Hancock counties. There is a little bit of lake effect snow shower activity over towards eastern Lake Erie, but I do expect a dry start to the work week. Those wind chills slightly below zero. However, by Tuesday, we're going to kick off a gradual thaw and a warm up. A cold and breezy start to the week, 21 degrees with winds gusting to 30 miles an hour. I'll show you when temperatures make a run for 50. You'll see that in my full 10-day forecast, Michael.
John, we'll see you then. 5 counties are under a level 1 snow emergency right now. Drivers in Hancock, Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca, and Wood counties are urged to drive with caution as roadways are hazardous and may be icy. A mass shooting on Bondi Beach in Australia has killed at least 16 people, including a 10-year-old girl. Dozens more are injured. Police say it was a terrorist attack coming at the start of Hanukkah. Tina Kraus has more.
The annual Hanukkah by the Sea event was a huge celebration in Australia Saturday, with Jewish families soaking up the last rays of sunshine in Sydney before gunmen started shooting. This video captures suspects firing non-stop for about 5 minutes.
I just saw an older lady get shot and she was on the floor. Saw an older guy get shot, very badly injured on the left-hand side.
There's a shooting at Bondi.
The chaos sent people scattering on the sand of the world-famous Bondi Beach, where a crowd of more than 1,000 had gathered.
There were bullets and there were so many of them and we were really scared.
People start running and I'm going, well, maybe it's like a one-time shooting, not like it's not America, like not a massacre event.
But it was, and police say 2 men carried it out. They took down both in a shootout, killing one, a Pakistani national. The other is in the hospital and hasn't been identified. The Prime Minister called it an act of anti-Semitic terrorism that struck at the heart of the nation.
An attack on Jewish Australians is an attack on every Australian. There is no place for this hate, violence and terrorism in our nation.
President Trump said it was a terrible attack.
And that was an anti-Semitic attack, obviously. And I just want to pay my respects to everybody.
It's Australia's deadliest shooting in nearly 30 years. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
According to CNN, the attack was orchestrated by a father and son duo. The father, a 50-year-old, was killed. The son, a 24-year-old, is currently in critical condition. On this day, 13 years ago, 26 people were killed inside Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut. 20 of the victims were children between ages 6 and 7, and the other 6 were adult staff members. The shooter, a 20-year-old who had previously attended the school, died on scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The incident is the deadliest mass shooting at an elementary school in U.S. history.
Please stand your prayers here to Rhode Island.
Less than 2 weeks before Christmas, snow blankets Brown University as the tight-knit community deals with the aftermath of a fatal shooting.
To the 9 injured, get well fast, and to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America.
Authorities took a person of interest into custody at a Rhode Island hotel on Sunday, according to a law enforcement source.
When they entered the room, they were able to recover 2 firearms. One thing of significance is, I'm told by sources, that one of those firearms was equipped by a laser sighter, a laser sight device.
Sources also say witnesses of the shooting said the shooter used a laser sight during the attack. The FBI says cell phone data was used to locate the person now in custody.
We are doing what we know how to do in cooperation with our law enforcement partners to ensure that we adequately, thoroughly investigate the situation.
Police would not release the name of the person of interest, but have said the person is not a student at Brown.
It's going to take time. Detective work is not something that you can answer or solve within a minute. It takes time, and we have to make sure that we have the right evidence in order to prosecute somebody properly.
John Lawrence, WTOL 11 on Plus.
You just heard the latest on the investigation from the Brown University shooting. Now, turning to further national headlines, the majority of Americans disapprove of President Donald Trump and his administration's policies. A new poll from NBC News and SurveyMonkey finds Trump's approval rating is at 42%, with a disapproval rate of 58%. 27% of those polled said the economy is their top concern, with 53% saying they trust Democrats more to handle rising prices. The survey found that 71% disapprove of the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein files as well. Trump also seems to be losing support from MAGA Republicans, dropping from a 70% strong approval rating in April to a 70% approval rate now. President Donald Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff is preparing to meet with President Zelensky and European officials in Berlin today. They will be discussing the U.S. plan for a peace settlement to end the war in Ukraine. Anna Kubin has more.
Diplomatic efforts to bring an end to Russia's almost 4-year assault on Ukraine have accelerated in recent weeks, with all eyes now focused on those talks starting in Berlin on Sunday. The French presidency said the Americans needed to convince Russia to build on the common ground being established between the US, Europe and Ukraine. But that could be difficult. A key sticking point in negotiations is whether and to what extent Ukraine will concede territory to Russia. Ukraine rejected a US drafted peace plan presented last month because it required Kyiv to surrender the entirety of the eastern Donbas region to Moscow, handing over more territory than Russia has been able to take by force. Kyiv submitted its own revised plan to US officials on Wednesday, affirming its need for ironclad security guarantees in the event of any future Russian aggression. And as talks gather steam, Zelensky was in London, Brussels and Rome this week and now is expected in Berlin. The war rages on. Overnight on Friday, Russian drones and missiles attacked Ukrainian energy infrastructure in several regions, with Ukraine's energy ministry reporting widespread power outages. Ukraine, for its part, has stepped up its assault on Russian oil facilities in recent months, aiming to choke off a key source of the Kremlin's revenue. Meanwhile, the US is growing impatient and frustrated. President Trump has made it very clear that he is tired of the meetings and talking and just wants a deal done, ideally before Christmas. Even a face-to-face meeting between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska this summer wasn't enough to break the impasse. Will it be different this time? Anna Kubin, CNN, London.
Back here in the Glass City, tonight Whiteford Elementary parents are raising concerns after one mother was viciously attacked by a dog while taking her son home from school. Dominique O'Neill joins us in studio now with the latest. Dom, you spoke with parents who expressed their concerns. What did they tell you?
Well, Michael, I spoke to some parents. They're raising the alarm. They don't want to be the next victim of this dog, saying the details of the incident only make it more terrifying. According to public records, she was walking home with her 3-year-old when this dog ran out from an unfenced yard next to the school and started to attack her unprovoked. I connected with a woman who has 3 kids of her own at Whiteford, and she says she's deeply concerned and wants the dog removed from the home as soon as possible.
And that dog, it could have killed her child. It could kill someone else. Like, you saw what it did it to you. So, like, just please relinquish the dog.
In response to the incident, school staff did implement additional internal procedures to support safety during arrival and dismissal, including the building principal being present at arrival and dismissal, directly located where the dog had entered the school property. Coming up tonight at 11, we're going to hear more concerns from parents about what they want to see moving forward. In studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11 on Plus.
Tonight, families around the world will hold memorial candlelight memorials in honor of children who have died. And Toledo is joining in on what's called the 24-hour Wave of Light. The Compassionate Friends of Northwest Ohio will hold their annual candle lighting at the Toledo Children's Memorial from 6:45 till 8 p.m. There will be music, poetry, and a discussion led by a life coach. The Toledo Craftsman Guild celebrated its 50th anniversary of the Winter Festival of Crafts this afternoon at the Franciscan Center at Lourdes University. The event featured independent artists who created handcrafted items, often made to order and not found in stores. Items included holiday wreaths, floral, yard, and seasonal decorations, fragrances and lotions, fabric, home decor, decorative paintings, photography, and more. Now, if you still can't find what you're looking for, you can also request custom pieces from independent artists.
Well, it brings everybody together. There's people that come out and look for their favorite crafters. There's people that make a day of it and come out with their family, like moms and daughters and stuff, and just do a shopping day and then grab lunch. So it's kind of just a fun way to come out and spend a little time with family and your friends.
While the show was this year's last opportunity to purchase an item from the Guild, the event will be returning once again next year. Franklin Park Mall will be welcoming a Cinnabon to its food court tomorrow morning. Cinnabon's grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony will be taking place tomorrow, Monday, December 15th at 11 a.m. The new Cinnabon is owned and operated by the owner of Demota Shoes, also inside Franklin Park Mall. The first 50 guests in line will receive a free Cinnabon mini-bon for the occasion. Let's get things over to meteorologist John Birchfield. John, I understand that we might have some difficult weather for going out and grabbing that Cinnabon tomorrow.
It is going to be a cold start to the work week. If you thought today was bad, we got another frigid morning tomorrow. It's also going to be a windy day with gusts up to 30 miles an hour that will be possible. Wind chills near zero out the door at the bus stop and for the drive into work. So it is going to be a bit of a harsh feeling morning. Temperatures have been dropping down into the teens and southwest lower teens in Hancock and Putnam counties. Those are going to be some of the coldest spots Monday morning with a wind chill of -5 in Findlay. Wind chills are still at around 10 in Toledo, but it is going to feel close or below 0 degrees Monday morning. There are a few lake effect snow showers over towards Cleveland, although nothing here at home. In fact, there was a little bit of clearing that made for a gorgeous sunset. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of that sunshine despite the frigid feel. So wind chills starting off your Monday near to below 0 into the afternoon. Those wind chills remaining in the teens, and then by Tuesday we finally start to see a little bit of an improvement and an uptick in the wind chills and also a rise in those temperatures. One more bitterly cold day before we thaw out. 21 degrees Monday and those winds gusting to 30 miles per hour. So the hour-by-hour temperatures and wind chills showing you that feels like below 0 into your Monday morning. Afternoon highs around 20, and then as we fast forward into Tuesday, temperature is going to be above freezing, still with the feels like that'll be in the 20s. Next couple of days, that thaw begins Tuesday. More sunshine is expected, and the middle of the week, how about 40 degrees? A gradual thaw is expected Wednesday, and we're going to be close to 50 degrees for your Thursday, but it is going to come with our next weather impact, a storm system that is going to bring a blustery day and also widespread rain. Impacts this week include that gradual warm up and a rainy day with strong winds Thursday. I do want to give you a heads up to a very mild weather pattern, but also a look ahead to the timing of that storm. It is likely to be dry through Thursday morning, but by Thursday afternoon, soaking rain is likely. The winds are going to pick up, 40-mile-an-hour gusts possible. And we do see a brief cool down behind that system that could include a transition to a few snowflakes. Now, that cool down is going to be